section.
Okay.
4.4. Oh, Sean found one of those things you're talking about.
Oh, no.
I had to try it for myself because I didn't know, they told me what the picture was, but then I didn't know if it was going to be a bad website and it was going to be a picture of something else, so I did it first. You never know. I'm going to call this identifying the slope.
Page 13?
Identifying the slope. Remember, this is the last piece of new material before the next test. It's a very short test.
You did 4.3 all of it yesterday? Okay.
Check.
I thought we had some more.
4.3. No, it was just finding explanation. You cover up messages. Okay.
We didn't have that big.
No. The slope. Lots of definitions for slope. For me, it's just how steep a line is. How steep a line is. There are lots of different ways to identify a slope. Let me put here. You can identify a slope given one, a picture. That's the first way we'll look at it. You can identify the slope by looking at a picture. 2, given 2 points. And then 3, given an equation. Those are your only 3 ways you can identify a slope. Now the picture one, we can't really get an exact number if it's just a rough sketch, but you can kind of tell if it's going to be a positive or a negative slope. So let me draw a couple graphs here. My first one is going to look like this. These don't have to be huge. Okay, so those are the 4 different, those are the 4 different kind of pictures you can see when you're drawing. Those are the only 4 kind of pictures.
And that's 1, number 1.
Identifying the slope by looking at a graph. Now we can't really tell the exact slope because I don't know what those exact points are. But I can, what I do is I think of a little person and he's in like a marathon. You always read a line going from left to right, just like a book. So here's my little person. If he was to walk, is he going to go up the line or down the line? Up the line. Up represents a positive answer. So we know, I don't know what the slope is, but I know it's a positive slope. It's going to be a positive number. If your picture is in that form. If you were a little man on this line, and you're reading left to right, which way would he be going now?
Down.
He would be going down the mountain, down the incline, however you want to look at it. So I know he's going to have a negative slope, or a negative number for the slope. Just don't know that exact number yet. Those usually don't confuse anyone. It's these other 2 that sometimes study off of it. If this was you, let's say you're at the gym, and you're on the treadmill. Are you on an incline?
No. Yes.
If it's just a straight line.
Oh, I thought you meant if you press the button.
Well, I know pushing buttons. If that was you and you're on just the treadmill, but you didn't do anything with the incline, what would the incline number be?
0.
0. So if you have a horizontal line, the slope is always 0. It doesn't matter where that horizontal line is, the slope is always 0 because there is no incline. It's just 0. Now, let's take it a little step further. What axis is this line going through?
Y.
So anytime you see y equals some number, doesn't matter what number it is, you know it's a horizontal line. And there's a 0 slope. No slope and 0 are two different things.
So that's.
Can you go back up to the top? Okay, so that's a picture. All of
these are
this is a picture.
All of the pictures. But the thing you need to know is when you have a horizontal line, that slope is always going to be 0 because you're never going to have an incline with a horizontal line. Now the other picture.
Miss AJ, I think she had a question.
So, what was your question?
No, it's just for the slope equals 0, it's just a horizontal line is 0.
The slope is 0. The
Okay.
picture is horizontal.
Okay,
And
okay.
then the slope is 0. So there are two pieces of information.
Okay, I gotcha.
But 0 means like on the graph you did for our homework doesn't mean it had anything to do with slope. It means
No, didn't have
you started the y or the right
Right.
on.
Right. Yeah, this is a little bit different. And then let's say this is your person. Now, what's going to happen if he walks?
You're gonna fall.
And we do not want that to happen to you.
Yes, we do.
No, I want
we
you to
do.
come back tomorrow.
Gravity says.
So, if he's going to fall, we don't want that to happen, so we say there is no slope. The fancy word, instead of saying no slope, is undefined.
So there's a difference between no slope and slope equals 0.
Correct, because that's what Sean said. He said no slope. I'm like, 0 and no slope mean two different things. So you've got to make sure you're not in that habit. This is 0. That's either no slope, doesn't exist, or undefined, however you want to write it. And what axis is this vertical line going through?
Y.
That's the x-axis.
Oh, hey, I was right.
So it's always going to be x equals a number. If you see x equals some number, you know there is no slope. It's undefined.
Excuse me.
I don't know if I told this class. I think it was just my other class. When you all did your multiplication drills, and I don't know if there was anyone in here, there were a couple of you, when you said 6 times 0, what would that answer be?
0.
0. But some of you, when you wrote your zeros, you did that. That means no solution. You've got to get out of that habit if that's you, because when we get to equations where there are no solutions, I don't know if you're telling me no solution or you're just telling me the answer is 0. So don't do the little slash, because in intermediate and college algebra, they're going to think you need no solution, and there are a lot of no solution answers. So just keep that in mind if that's you. I've seen it every semester, and I know that it's a fancy way of doing it, but you want to get out of that habit. All right, so that was the picture. And I'm going to call that problem 1, because that's looking at the picture. Problem 2.
So all these could be in problem 1?
Given 2 points. Given 2 points. This is the second part. This is the part you will see in the homework. Given 2 points. Now, this one, you just got to know the formula. If you know the formula, you can do all the problems. And it looks like this. Y with a little 2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1. And I'll show you what all that means in just a second.
Why do you write your Y